Hi everyone, this is Wayne Rivers at Performance Construction Advisors, where we build better contractors. I have a real treat this week. I have a vlog, What is Knowledge Transfer is the title, but it mostly comes from an article written by Brian King from our member company AM King in Charlotte, North Carolina. AM King is an employee-owned integrated design build firm strategically focused on the food processing, food distribution, and cold storage industrial and corporate markets. Okay, so that's AM King. Brian did a really good job in this article, and so I want to bring it to you. I'm actually going to just read you some of Brian's passages because I couldn't state them any better at all. Now, what about this is important to you? Knowledge transfer, 10 or 15, 20 years ago was an academic kind of a thing. They refer to it as KT. Okay, that's cool. And KT being a formal process that people need to engineer into their companies. And it's now becoming more commonly used in our, quote, small businesses, our contractors in our program. Definition first, okay? Knowledge transfer refers to a process in which seasoned veterans share their skills, information, experience, and ideas with a company's less experienced workers. Okay, great working definition of knowledge transfer. You're imparting experience and knowledge to people that don't have experience and knowledge. Okay, so that's excellent. It could be, knowledge transfer could be formal. It could be classes on IT or safety or specialized equipment training, or it could be informal, where people are just kind of having lunch and saying, I've got this problem on my job, and this is what's happening. What do you think? Have you seen this? And if so, what did you do about it? And that could be an informal way of transitioning knowledge. Brian wrote that today's workforce represents the greatest generational diversity of any time in history. And he talked specifically in his company about sort of a middle career person managing fairly new employees, but also managing people that have been around the company for I wanted to say decades. And so it's strange that you've got this mix of all these different generations in company. I do believe Brian's right about that, about the greatest workforce diversity in history. And he says this is an opportunity for contractors to embrace this new dynamic. So first thing, he talks about tapping into the knowledge of seasoned veterans, some of whom are reluctant to speak up. So coaxing these seasoned employees to share their information with less seasoned employees is kind of a piece of it. And you need to make it a part of your culture. It needs to be a part of your ethics. There could be situational problem solving, transition of management skills, but also technical skills and also soft skills, the EQ that we always talk about. Informal individual KT could be meeting one-on-one with people or meeting in small groups. It could be a part of career development planning. And KT can even, it doesn't have to be in the context of work. So let's say you've got a less seasoned employee that has a situation at home. Well, chances are, some of the more experienced people have had similar situations to cope with and deal with, and they could even help with personal issues, not just work issues. Especially things like work-life balance, which is tricky when you're navigating the upward career path in organizations. The default is to work 80 hours a week. Well, that might not always work in today's world with today's families. One other individual KT that I think is worthwhile that Brian addresses is dealing with difficult people. Construction is an industry of strong-willed people, and some people take it to a different level. And dealing with difficult people in difficult situations is wonderful training to get. So let me read you a couple of Brian's, a little bit of Brian's writing. He really did a great job on this article. Oh, it's on the AM King website, by the way, if you want to read it yourself. Seasoned veterans within a company may be that company's greatest resource. The companies that understand this and then create an environment where the wisdom, experience, and knowledge of these individuals is passed down to their other employees in a purposeful manner will be the most successful over time. And finally, I realized that some of the greatest lessons I learned that have contributed to my success were the result of being exposed to the wisdom and teaching of seasoned veterans. They cared about teaching me and making sure I was smarter at the end of the day than the beginning. That's what it's all about. What do you think? What are you doing in your organizations to promote KT? Formal, informal, what's worked for you? Please share with us in the comments. This is Wayne Rivers at Performance Construction Advisors, where we build better contractors.